Hey everybody, it's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Georgia, and I am in the garage, and I'm going to do a little work to the E92. Over the past week I've been working from home, so I've gotten like an extra hour worth of working time because I don't have to commute to the office. So I got a lot done actually on the car off camera this week. So today I just want to practice my welding. So I cut up some little squares of 1/8 inch plating, and I want to get that MIG like TIG type look. They're calling it motorsports welding now because it's gotten so popular. But my welding's never looked like that. I've never been a particularly good welder. I can glue some metal together, but I can't make really fancy artistic welds. So I'm going to try to do some practicing and try to set up my machine to do that today, at least on 1/8 inch plate for the pilth boxes. And hopefully I can get the A-pillars bent up today too. I've already got the main hoop done. The pilth boxes are already done. The front plates are done. Just got to weld and tack some stuff in. So let me show you what I got going on here. I put the old driver's seat just to understand where the harness bar is going to be. But you can see I've started the roll cage. Finally, after all this chassis prep, there's an actual bar in the car bent up, you know, for the car. So the main hoop is all bent up. I bent this a couple days ago, and you know, it fits really, really tight. So I'm super happy with it. But it fits so tight that I can't mock it in without tacking the pilth boxes in, because they slide down like this and open this gap up, and they should be about a 1/2 inch higher. So today I want to practice my welding so I can put a really nice weld across here. You know, a really nice looking weld. You can see it's just tacked right now. Tack this pilth box in and tack the other one in on that side so that I can get the main hoop really tight up against the inside of the car and get that tacked onto this box. And then hopefully bending the eight pillar bars. So 8 pillar bars will go down, and they're going to go to these plates right here. I got plates that will just sit there just like that. So I'll tack those in. You guys can see I actually have a really nice welding table, but it's covered in stuff. It's always covered in stuff, and I gotta clean it so I can use it. But I can't really sit at it anyway because there's all this stuff underneath it, and I don't have a stool to sit on. So I'm gonna be welding on my makeshift bench, which is this paver stone on the floor. All right, I'm all set up here on my welding bench, and I'm just gonna take these squares that I made. I'm gonna just try to weld them together at 90-degree angles like this, just like my pilth boxes, and try to run some beads down them until the beads look good. So I'm gonna keep adjusting the settings. I've got my notebook here. I'm gonna write down all the settings that I try. So I'm starting with Miller's recommended settings here, 6.5 volts at 70 wire speed. So I think I'm just gonna have to turn it down and down and down from here. So we'll run one bead like this. You know, we're gonna kind of do the cursive V type technique and see how it comes out, and then go from there. Okay, so you know, if I ground the tacks out, this might not be so high, and you can see, you know, where the gap opened up, the weld actually is flatter. This is still pretty hot. So obviously it's really hot. So I'm gonna turn it down, try again. Okay, so I turned it down quite a bit, and you can still see, you know, it's really hot, definitely too much wire. So I'm gonna cool this piece of metal down, I'm gonna try another one. And I went down to 5.560 for this one, so it's really right on here which one's which. Okay, so I tried a lot of different techniques at the same settings, and this isn't very distinctive of, you know, how the weld's gonna look here. So ideally I want them to look like this one here. This was a nice corner one, stack time type of look. Not as distinctive as others I've seen, but I think acceptable for me. And I just kept trying, you know, bigger and bigger circles, longer E's, you know. I just kept trying to make them look better and better. And I did get to a point where I could consistently make them look pretty good. So I think, you know, this is definitely the technique. it's kind of a long, big swoop. So, and it's faster in the circle portion than it is on the straight portion. So, I'm going to go ahead and try to weld the pillth boxes now using this technique at these settings, because really I can't sit here and do this all day, and I'm making very, very slow progress now. I was making very quick progress doing the settings. So hopefully it looks better than this one when I do the pillth boxes. So here's the finished result. It does have that stack time look. I mean, it definitely could be better, and I think it's in the preparation, not so much the settings. Because if I grind like a nice big trough into there and make my circles bigger, I think I can get to a point where this could look really nice. I'm gonna give you a little progress report. I got one A-pillar bar bent up, and it wasn't the first try, and it wasn't even the second try. So the first try, the included angles were way off, and I cut it up and I welded it back together to fit better so I could take measurements off it. The second try was a really stupid error, whereas I didn't include the length I needed to make the bends. I just included from die start to the end and die start to the next die start, so I came up short. So that was pretty stupid. I could have probably done it in two. But the third try came out like pure money. I mean, it fits real well, sits right where I want it, and it's just taped up so there's a little gap, but if you push on it, there's no gap anymore. And it's got a pretty notch on the end. Took the better part of about 6 hours today to make that bar. But I wrote down all the measurements, and I'm gonna try to replicate it on the other side. Hopefully it'll take like 15 minutes because I already got a bar cut. I have all the measurements. I'm gonna put the notch in the same place, and I hope that works. That was close. This has to be bent the other way for the other side of the car, and I almost bent it exactly the same. I mean, I was literally about to bend it. Whoa. There she is, all bent up. Just gonna cut and notch her. She'll be done. Alright guys, that about wraps it up for this evening. I am pretty stoked with how much I got done today. I mean, it took the whole day. I mean, I've been out here since about maybe 11 o'clock this morning, and it's almost, I think it's 9 p.m. now or 10 p.m. So it took the whole day, but I'm really stoked on the progress. And I got both the A-pillars done, so you can see both the bars in there. They're not tacked in yet or anything, but they fit really nicely. So I'm pretty stoked with how they came out. They're super high and tight. And tomorrow I'll tack them in and I'll tack the mounts on the bottom there and get those bars all cleaned up and ready. You know, next things I have to do are the dash bar that goes across. I have to do the harness bar that'll go across the main hoop diagonal, of course. The door bar is going to be really hard, so I'm going to leave those for last, and the down bars. So next I'll probably do the windshield bar and the diagonal for the main hoop. Things that don't need bends, because I am sick of bending. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Like this video if you like it, and I'll see you guys next week.